All right. Hello, everybody. It's Miss Ginny from the Rotary Children's Library. Welcome to Crafting with Ginny at 3:30. And I am going to be showing you today a bat craft. So he's very cute. And I see one of my little things fell off. So this is what we're going to be making today. It's a coffee filter bat craft. All right. So the supplies that you're going to need is you're going to need a coffee filter. So the round kind that's quite thin. And I would suggest you use a tray to put it in. That would help. You'll also need a container with a bit of water in it because you're going to need a little bit of water. And some small black and white Google eyes. Just one set. Now, you can use a spray bottle with some water in it, or you can use your eyedropper to put water on your paper. Now, you can use white glue, but I just find that when you're gluing onto wood, I'm going to use my hot glue gun. So again, if you're using a hot glue gun, which I have here, you have to have adult supervision before you can use it. We don't want anybody getting burnt. And this is a fun craft to do. So I'm using it today because it dries much faster. The other thing that I have are markers. You can choose whatever colors you want. I'm going to use mostly the dark markers. And if you have any rhinestones like this, you can use them. Black is a great color. I'm going to use blue today because I didn't have any black. If you don't have any rhinestones, you can use little pom-poms, little black pom-poms. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and the reason you have that tray, is you're going to want to color your coffee filter. So I am going to just put the computer down here so you can see what I'm doing. So I have my coffee filter, and I am going to just take some colors and color around it. So try to cover as much white as you can. You want to fold it in half first. So fold your coffee filter in half first. Actually, I'm going to do it this way since I started coloring on that side. So fold it in half and then start coloring. So it'll be, I think it's more like a rainbow color, but you can do whatever colors you want. Remember, you're doing a black bat, so you definitely want to keep the bat. Actually, I'm going to take it out of the tray for the moment and just color it on the newspaper that I have here. So if you don't want to color it in the tray, color it on the newspaper. And then we're just going to make it as wide as you want or as narrow as you want. It's up to you how many colors you want to be coloring in the white as much as possible. So just keep coloring, choose whichever colors you want to make your bat. Dark colors I find work really well because of course a bat is black, and you know, using some darker colors I think adds a little bit more to it there. So try to cover in your white as much as possible. Now I'm going to use some black because I want nice dark colors. Now my black doesn't look very black on the screen here, and it is kind of running out, but I'm using markers to just color around, color in the white of the coffee filter. So have fun with your coloring. This craft is really easy to do and it looks beautiful and you'll be amazed at what happens. Next, I'm going to use purple because that's kind of a dark color too. You use whatever colors you want. If you want your bat to be nice and bright, you can do that. Again, it's up to you what you want to use. Maybe you want to use red or green. I did in my first bat that I made there. I used red and green and that looked kind of nice too. You can pretend that your bat is all different colors. And like I said, make your coloring circles like a half circle. Make them as wide as you want. Now I'm going to use some brown because that's kind of a dark color too. Now my brown is kind of drying out. I'm not going to use a lot of brown, but I'm going to use some. So the main thing is you're trying to cover the white of the coffee filter. Just, your coloring doesn't have to be perfect. Just do the best you can because the colors are going to blend together. I'm going to use a little bit of red on the very bottom because I want to have a little bit of red. So I'm using a bit of red now. And then I'm going to use some more blue, I think, because that's kind of a neat color, kind of dark. So you're just doing 1/2 of your coffee filter. Remember, you folded it in half, so you only need to color the one side. The other side will turn color, and you'll see how that happens. It's like magic. All right. So now you can see that I have colored quite a bit. I've got most of the white. So now I'm going to use my tray and I am going to just leave it in my tray. Now you don't want to put too much water on. This is where you can use an eyedropper and get some water and drop it on gently all over because you don't want too much. You don't want your pitcher to be soaked, or you can use a really light spray on it, which is a little bit faster, but again, it'll take a little bit longer to dry. So don't wet it too much, just enough. You can see that it's getting wet and the colors are going to blend nicely there. So I'm going to let that dry. And while that's drying, I am going to take a clothes peg. I forgot to mention that earlier. That's the other thing you're going to need is a clothes peg. And this is where I'm going to use my gemstones. Now, if you don't have any, again, you can just glue on some pom-poms if you want. So I'm going to use the gemstones and I'm going to be sticking them down the one side of the clothes peg. Now, these ones are stuck together pretty good, so I'm going to pull them off as best I can and stick them onto my clothes peg. So I'm starting at the bottom, stick them on, and then I'm going to stick one right beside the next one. And then another one. It usually takes